Hello, my loves. Hello. This is Kim Whiters, and this is Beautifully You. See, I'm getting much better about doing these intros, y'all. I told y'all we're going to work on it, and consistency pays. Consistency pays. So, today, I want to have a conversation with you all about limits and limitations and removing them and some of the things that we need to do. Oop, I wanted to make sure the child I wasn't hitting the microphone, honey. So let's just get right into it. In my meditation this morning, I heard a word that was so strong and so powerful and played it's like it played in my spirit so deeply, like it hit me. You know what I'm saying? It was part of a whole sermon, if you will, or part of a topic of conversation. But what I realized is the way it hit me and stirred my soul. I was like, oh yeah, the girls, we need to talk about this. The quote that I heard was, your life will never rise above your thoughts, or your life will never rise higher than your thoughts. Meaning whatever you believe about yourself is true. So know that if you believe you can and you say you can and you want to, you can. But if the seeds that you plant are saying, I can't, I won't, I can't do that, that ain't for me, I'm too old to do that, then you won't. So whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Either way. What this did for me in thinking about this was really let me know that even with this, what I'm doing now, the more I believe in what it is that I'm doing, the better I'll become about it. And the better I become about doing it, the higher I will go, the further along I will go. This is something that's a passion of mine, as I've stated in the past. I come to y'all in my community of chaos in here, but this is how my mind goes sometimes. So in being transparent and showing, hey, yeah, it's not, perfectly aesthetic. This is the brain of a 57-year-old woman, and this is what's currently going on in her environment. Nothing to be ashamed of. Does my whole life look like this? Absolutely not. But in this space, this is kind of what it is I have going on, and it's different things. Now I'll take and clean it all up in here, but then I'll turn around and it's like, as my thoughts start to pile on every single time, then next thing I know, I start to get the chaos. And that's okay. That's a very real side of life. But not to get off topic, I do really want to discuss what it takes in order to rise above the negativity, what it takes to rise above our past, the things that we've been taught. Many of us have been taught in our past, in our lives growing up especially, that, hey, there's certain things that we should not be doing. There are certain things that, forgive me, y'all, I need to turn some of these phones down because what we're not going to do is be disturbed by all this noise, okay? The girls are talking. What we're not going to do is put limitations on ourselves like a cap, if you will. That's what keeps us bogged down. That's what keeps us at a point where we just feel like, well, I would, but, well, I want to, but, I was going to, but. I know when my children were growing up, when they were younger, and they kind of needed me a little bit more, and everybody was very, very, very dependent on mom. There were a lot of things that I was told that, well, you might want to wait to do that. Don't do that right now. That's not a good thing for you to do, at this particular point. Wait till, I don't even think I was even told wait till the kids get grown or get bigger. I was just kind of told to kind of stay in the safety net of things. And I just feel differently about that now. I know that there are a lot of things that as moms, as wives, as women, that we're told, hey, you need to, not do that, or you're a mother, you can't do that, or you shouldn't be doing that. You should just work a 9 to 5 and, you work harder on getting a good job than you work harder at getting a good job than you do really in a lot of cases about being a good person, if that makes sense. It's not always easy. I look at what we talk about now, and we've always had tribes, we've always had community, we've always had a village. I grew up in the circle in my life was my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, and those were the women that were always in my life. If we weren't at home, we were at my grandmother's house. If we weren't at my grandmother's house, then we were at my aunt's house. And that's what I knew. So again, there's always been a village. But during the time when I was raising my kids, late 80s, the 90s, 2000s, it was for me more of the kids could, be at my mama's house, but there were still limitations on what I could do, if you will. And now, like I said, not so much. I am grateful that I got to spend that time with my children. I will say that. However, I do believe that there were things I probably could have done, but in order to not have regrets or live in regrets, I have to be thankful for the fact that for the most part, everybody came out unscathed, even though there are a lot of things that we did go through with, my kids and growing up and growing pains and lots of things. But what I've learned raising my children and growing with my children, I have come to realize that when my daughters started rearing children, how I learned to look at things differently, the things that they were able to do even when their kids were smaller. And I will say, like I said, the windows they were willing to jump out of, they, are adventurous, going on trips with their kids and vacations and things like that. Like, I can really appreciate that because I never taught them that you can't do this or you can't do that. Yes, I wanted them to raise their children, but I never put a cap on you shouldn't do this because you're a mother. We're not saying like crazy things or anything like that, but just knowing that, hey, if you want to become an entrepreneur, that's possible. If you want to go to school even while you have kids, that's possible. You just have to know what it is that you're going to have to do and whatever sacrifices you're going to have to make in order for that to happen. It's not going to be perfect, but you're also not going to be in school forever. So if a small sacrifice is required for a little bit of time, because trust me, a year, even 2 years is a very small block of time in retrospect to, let's say, 18 years of rearing children. And if you doing the things that you need to do in order to take your family where you want to take your family, then this is a sacrifice that mama has to make. Everybody just has to learn to work together. I also understand that that's a balancing act, and everybody within the family has to be a willing participant. That is very important. So it's been several different things that have allowed me to get to this point where I know and understand fully about the limitations that you have and how far you really can grow. Nobody can place any limits on you but you. Nobody. Nobody gets to tell you what you can or cannot do as far as your growth as a person. Nobody can tell you. It is up to you how far you go in life. And even now, at this big age, at these big ages, or even if someone's watching this that's in their 20s or in their 30s or your 40s, still the limitations that you impose on yourself can only be imposed upon you based off of you. Whatever you think you can do, that's what you can do. If you're saying, hey, I need to start going to the gym 3 times a week, or if you don't have the capacity to go to the gym, then I can start walking. I can start exercising in the house. I can start doing something to get myself towards the goal that I want to accomplish. If you decide that you want to start running, if you have to run either, once the kids are settled, or once you get off work, or if it's something that you have to do, let's say if the kids are in daycare, right? Okay, so let's say you have until 6 o'clock. I'm just going to use this as an example, but I'm not, one way or the other. But If you're saying, hey, where can I fit this in? Because we make time for the things that we want to make time for. What is a priority to us? We make a priority. If it's just you and it's you and your companion, or if it's just you by yourself, still, what you decide to make time for, you will make time for. What it is you decide that you want to do, you will do. That's what will become the priority for you. And that's what will keep you unbound, unchained, unhinged from the limited thoughts that we have been taught to believe, or sometimes we just self-impose. You know, a lot of times, many of us are living in a cage with a door that's wide open, you know, but we feel that we can't go any further than this. This is all I can do. You know, this is as far as I can go. You know, being brought up or reared under certain rules that say, well, you know, the aches and the pains and the creaks and the cramps, they just come with getting old. Okay, so what can I do to stop the creaks and the cramps? At least for a little while. You know, if I don't have to be doing that, then what can I do to put that on pause? Because I need to pause that, you know, or completely eliminate it if I can. You know, I want to say it was 2023. I promise you, the entire year in pain. When menopause first started hitting me, like really, really hard, 2021, 22, by 2022, it was coming on fast. I promise you, the way that my estrogen and my collagen decided that they was going to get together and run off together and get married, yeah, I felt deserted, and I couldn't understand why. I was hurting so bad. It was like I've said before, I've never had any broken bones, thank God, you know, but I was in constant pain. Like I had joint pain, and I had knee pain, and I had back pain and hip pain, and I was getting cortisol shots. And it was just, I was constantly having to do something as far as having to maintain my physical mobility. And I was a little ticked off about it because I could not understand why. And it was very unfortunate that not one doctor that I went to could just tell me, well, Miss Whiters, you are probably going through menopause, darling. And, you know, these things are a part of it. But, hey, let's get you some help. And that kind of speaks to the fact that I've heard quite a few times that the way that most of our physicians have been trained, they have not been trained to deal with, at least in the past, to really pay attention to women's health, to women's health like that. You know, the symptoms and stuff like that. And I went to male and female doctors. That's what's interesting. Not one person told me, hey, let me look at your chart. How old are you? Not one person. Not one person. But it's okay. Because Google, she don't keep no secrets, honey. And she gave me all the tea. All of it. She told me everything I wanted to know. So when I went back to the doctors, fully armed with information, I could ask questions. Then I could get on top of this diagnosis piece, and somebody needed to tell me something better than what it was that I had. One of the best pieces of advice that I was given was my legs hurting. One of my GYN did tell me, she said, baby, you dehydrated, you thirsty, you need some water. She did, and I hate that she retired, but I understand and I get it. I do. So, you know, I had to excuse her. You know, she got a new grandbaby, you know. She done ran off with the grandbaby and left us, but I'm going to reel it back in. But what I've learned is that the longer I place limits on myself, the longer I will delay the promise that I know that God has for me, honey. The longer I will keep myself in bondage, if you will, not feeling like I can act on certain things, especially now, you know. The only thing that we have going on more than anything is the grandbabies come over. And like I told y'all before, them grandbabies don't have to take over everything, you know. They go when they've been there, they room, long as they got Wi-Fi down there, then everybody's fine. But taking the cap off of what I do, taking the limitations, raising the bar, lifting my own ceiling has been a game changer for me. absolute game changer. And I've decided that what I want to do is to continue to push through this piece right here, because this right here, y'all, no, not him, you. Y'all are my legacy. Y'all are part of my legacy. Y'all are part of something great, honey. We are going to do something phenomenal over here. We are going to do something so awesome that when I tell you that the way we're going to share videos out here with the girls, the way that we're going to talk to each other about the things, the way that we're going to get it started out here in these YouTube streets, we're going to do something, and we're going to learn to just take it to the next level and not stop ourselves because of what somebody else said. Even if that somebody else is that other person that's in your head. Because that's the really sad part. It'll really be, the fight is really just within you. That's really where the fight is. Because one side of your spirit is saying, girl, let's go. Come on, honey. We can be doing this, and we can be doing that, and we can be out here being great. Then the other side is, well, I don't know. Are you sure we want to do that? Do you really want to, it's, see, all of that, you can't even get the words out. But there's so much contradiction in what it is that you're saying to yourself that and that you know. Girl, come on, let's go. Let's go. Just get up and do it. Just get up and do it. It's almost like you want to be careless with yourself, meaning that I'm going to care a lot less about what that other side of my brain thinks than I am about what the adventurous side of me is saying to do. Come on, honey, let's go. We've been talking about doing this for the longest. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? We're doing nothing but delaying. And that is the one thing that I had to learn by getting out of my own way. I had to get out of my own way. I couldn't hold nobody else to me doing this. Nobody else. And my husband, bless his heart, honey, sometimes I bounce stuff off of him and he'll at least listen. He will at least listen. I know that I can talk, especially when I'm talking about the betterment of, when I'm talking about going higher, when I'm talking about really putting that best foot forward, when I'm really talking about, hey, come on, let's get up, let's do something. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? When I'm talking about that, yeah, because I'm about that life. That life, I really am about. I'm about that life. And I'm about us as women being able to get up and motivate each other. Motivating another woman will never, ever, ever take anything from you, ever. And if you don't motivate her, then you're wrong, okay? You need to go back to sleep, get up and try it again the next day. Because if God told you to go over there and tell that girl, honey, it's going to be all right, you will live to fight another day. We're going to keep going, keep pressing, keep pushing play every day. That's what you should have did. And if you didn't, say sorry. Say sorry. Don't you do that. Tell that girl, you look good today. Tell her. Tell her, honey. Tell her. Don't you sit up and put no limitations on that. Telling her she look good don't take now iota of good looks from you. Nothing. Period. It takes nothing from you. You have every reason to support another woman. Every reason. Every reason. And it'll make you feel better too. Just know that. It'll make you feel better, girl. It'll make you feel better. Because you made her feel good. I promise you, it's an energy that we share amongst ourselves. Baby, when I tell you, there is nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Honey, no more caps. No more caps. No more caps. No more wig caps. No more capitalization. No more capsizing. No more Tylenol caps because my knees and ankles and back and all that stuff. We're going to eliminate all of the caps. No caps. Period. Just period. We're gonna take all the caps off. We're going to raise the bar on ourselves. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to feel good about it. And can't nobody tell you no different. Can't nobody tell you no different. Feel good about you. And tell that girl she need to feel good about her. Because we all girls out here, honey. All of us. All of us. All of us. We in this together. I have talked to everybody of every persuasion, every color, creed. I have talked to everybody. And when I tell you, all the girls, honey, we all going through the same thing. It don't matter. It don't matter what seat you sit in. It does not matter what your job title is. It don't matter. When I tell you that all the girls be going through the same thing, and we have had to all talk each other off the ledge. We have. We have. So be open and be honest with people. Yeah, be open and honest with them. And take the limits off yourself. That's another way you take the limits off. You know, it's another way. But love yourself enough to live limitlessly. Live limitlessly. I promise you, you'll thank yourself for giving yourself the opportunity to just live a little. Because we all know that tomorrow's not what? Okay? That is all for today. I hope that this message reaches the right person in the right way on the right day. I thank you all for joining me today, honey. Please like, comment, and subscribe if this is your vibe. And we will talk again soon. Share this video with your girls. Share it with the girls, honey. Don't forget, okay? I'm going to get on out of here because y'all see it's golden hour. Y'all see what the light is giving, honey. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye, babes.